You are you're a fearless guy. You were a professional bungee jumper for 5 years.
Yeah, yeah. We ran around the United States and offered people to bungee jump and stuff. And we were we wasn't the first ones to do it, but I was involved with a group that was real close to the first three or four people when it became a craze. And yeah, I just loved it one day and started doing that and did that for a few years. Decided I wanted to go back to living my life. Got a job in a factory and damn, then they built the damn zip line. So I had to try that. And hell, that one didn't work out too good for me.
That's for anybody who's not sure, that's the story of how you lost your legs.
Yeah, yeah. I fell 50 feet, landed on my feet. A couple spikes punctured my rear end, tore up my intestines, got my L1 and all the sciatic nerves. I still can't feel nothing from the waist down. I've just learned how to walk and adapt. And yeah, I got to be careful if I get cut or something like that. I don't know it. But I get along. I do everything. It hadn't slowed me down. I mean, hell, I'm still jacking with tigers, so I didn't learn that.
Incredible. Yeah, it's an incredible story of resilience. I feel like so much happens in the documentary. That was something they barely had time to discuss. It was almost just a footnote, but you fell from over 50 feet. That's not something you just throw a cast on.
Yeah.
What was your recovery like? Like, how did you?
I'm a fast healer. I'm strong-willed. I'm going to bounce back from anything that happens to me, but anything over 30 feet is lethal. So they waited a few days before they started patching me up, fixing me, because they really thought I was just going to die. So, yeah, it was pretty crazy. Lots of surgeries. I can't tell you how many surgeries. Oh my God. Probably 40 or 50 over the years. And, I don't know. I stay positive all the time. And that's the biggest thing. They want you to just die and lay on the couch, and go away. And I wasn't having it. That wheelchair sucked, man. I mean, I have much respect for anybody that's in a wheelchair the rest of their life, because I got about a year and a half, 2 years of it, and I was done with that. I didn't want any more of that. But ultimately, learning how to walk and not be able to feel my feet, I had to give up my feet because I just kept a bone infection. So they ended up taking my feet off. But come to find out, that was the best thing ever happened to me. Now you can't even stop me.
Incredible. Do you feel like with having such a near-death experience like that, you're almost fearless now? Is that why you can, go and hug a tiger, roll around with them?
Well, let's just say, yeah, I guess you call it fearless. I'm not scared. I mean, I'll bail off in there. I've put my life in danger. I don't know how many times with big cats, and it was all about the cat. One time I shoved my hand down his throat because it was choking on a bone, and I could see it lodged in the back of his mouth. It was either watch the cat die or stick your hand in his mouth. And, I stuck my hand in his mouth and got it out. So,
Yeah, that's amazing. Because I don't think the average person's wired to do that, right? Like, that's your first thought. Your fight or flight is just to get in there and reach your arm inside.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys are majestic, man. I come out here and I can just chill in the morning and just make everything in the world go away for a while. It's just truly amazing when you can just go in there and sit with one, and the respect you get from them.
I love it. I think your positivity and then just your genuine love for the animals is kind of what shone through in the documentary that was filled with crazy characters. And that, I think that was something that really, that was kind of the heartfelt moments of Tiger King.
Yeah. And it's pretty crazy. They filmed that for many years at the zoo, and it just kind of turned into the Carol Baskin saga. But you leave all that footage in the hands of a producer that you don't know. I was scared to death I was going to come out looking like a moron,
Yeah.
But I'm pretty pleased with the way it came out.
That's great. So let's say, it took you a few years, you were doing your recovery. How did you end up at GW Zoo? Am I following the timeline correctly here?
You are. I had my first foot cut off because of an infection, and I had healed from that, bounced back. And so I had one real leg, and I took my family on vacation. We went to a place up the road called Arbuckle Wilderness, and it was a drive-through zoo. And I was just it cost over $100 to go to drive through it. And I was really disappointed in it. So we left there and was going to go to Oklahoma City to eat supper. And there's this big old sign when you come out of there that talks about GW. And my kids talked me into going there. So we went there, and holy cow, man. You think one or two tigers, but I know we didn't do the tour. I know we seen 80 or 90 tigers up front. They're big cats, tigers and lions. But I fell in love with a grizzly bear there named Ozzy.
Well,
And this thing was huge, man, just amazing. And before I left there, I just asked, is there anything that the zoo needed? Well, Joe just happened to be standing back there, and he talked to me about a water tank for the grizzly bears. So we went and bought a water tank.
And then that was,
And,
and then
and that was
that was
it.
it.
I started volunteering and donating. And, you know, I don't have a lot of money, but I had resources. And ultimately, I just went back every weekend to help that lion, a couple lions and that grizzly bear. And I rebuilt his compound. And it just, I don't know, I just had a passion for that grizzly bear and just kept going back. Weekends turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. And Joe, I went home one day because I had a falling out with the manager that was there. And he didn't respect what I was doing. So I went home, and then, I don't know, 10 days probably went by, and Joe called me. He says, I need your help. I said, what do you need? He says, I know you had a falling out with our manager, but he left me in the middle of the night. He took everything. He took the money, the tools, everything, just left everybody high and dry. He didn't have anybody to run the place. So he asked if I would go in and kind of help fill out and see what I could do about running the meat route and stuff. I said, how long do I got to do this? He said, till I find a driver for the meat truck. That's no problem. So I went back, drove the meat truck. Nobody knew I could drive it. Did it in a quarter of the time that the other manager was doing it. And everybody thought I didn't do my job. And I had to prove to him that I did every store. And he never did get a driver. I just kept doing it. And it just became a passion, man. I just built respect for all the animals. The employees respected me. I don't know. I just kind of fell into it, I guess, as you could say.
It's incredible. So it all started with Ozzy.
Yeah, damn grizzly bear.